everyone, today I'm coming at you with a different type of video. I'm going to be telling you the 10 bookish places that I want to go. I just think that there are a lot of really cool libraries and bookstores and places that books take place in, and that's one of the really cool things about books is reading them, and just the setting for a book is just very important, and it makes you kind of want to be there and experience that world and the place that it takes place. I don't know if that makes sense at all. Maybe it's just me that feels that way, I don't know. But I thought of a few places that, books take place in, and libraries and bookstores and things like that that I just really want to go to. So, let's go. The second place is the Last Bookstore in Los Angeles, California. And I didn't choose this place specifically because it was in any book. It's just kind of a really cool bookstore. I had found out about it while watching Strawberry 17's vlog channel, Lifebury. I couldn't remember which one it was. But she'd gone to like a friend's show at the book place, and they actually have a labyrinth inside of the building that's just like full of books, and it's built of books, and it just seems like a really cool place. I think the building was originally like an old bank, and they kind of hollowed out all the vaults and stuff, and there's just books everywhere, and there's like tunnels and mazes, and I think from what I remember, you can buy all the books that are in the labyrinth too. It just seems like a really cool place, and I've never heard of anything like that, and it looked really awesome when I watched the video, and even when I look at pictures afterwards too, it just looks really cool, and I definitely want to go check that out. The third place is Santorini, Greece, and I chose this because while I was reading the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series, Lena's family lives in Santorini, and she, goes there to spend time with her family and all that stuff. As I'm sure most of you probably read the series or watched the movies, it just seems like a really pretty place. I've always wanted to go to Greece. It just seems like a really nice, beautiful, scenic place, but I didn't know what city, and Santorini seems nice, why not? The fourth and fifth place kind of go together. It's Harry Potter World in Orlando, Florida, and Warner Brothers Studio in London. Both are obviously related to Harry Potter, and Harry Potter is one of my all-time favorite book series, all-time favorite movies. It is my life. I love Harry Potter. There are no words for the feels that it gives me, and like my childhood memories, and just how good of a story it is, and just how much it draws you into the world. And we all know how much we all love Harry Potter. We're not going to go into it, but there's just something about being in like Warner Brothers Studios, for instance, and being near all those objects and like the places they filmed everything, and just getting to see it all. And I've seen videos of it, and I've looked at pictures and like tours and stuff, and it just looks so amazing and like so much fun. It's like a Harry Potter head's dream for sure. Number 6, I don't know how to count. Number 6 is 221 B Baker Street in London. Me and my boyfriend have recently got into Sherlock Holmes a lot. I've still never read any of like the stories, which I feel like a super big loser for because I have a bunch of them on my Kindle, but I just haven't found the time. But for a while there, my boyfriend was like reading them while working out and stuff on my Kindle when he was like using the treadmill and stuff and the bike and all that junk, and it just got me really excited about it. And we've been watching like Elementary and Sherlock and a bunch of stuff like that, and it just seems like such, I mean, like obviously the 221 B Baker Street in London is just like a museum, and there's also like a pub that like the top floor is built to look just like his apartment is supposed to, but it just seems, why not dive into the Sherlock Holmes world a little more by going there and experiencing it. The 7th place on my list is the Seattle Central Library in Seattle, Washington. Once again, this wasn't because of it being in a book at all. It just looks like a really awesome place. I was just trying to look at some libraries that, are very beautiful and scenic, and this is a very, very modern library, and it just looks really cool. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm like a library snob because my hometown had a really nice library. Like, it wasn't super fancy or anything, but I think there was a lot of funding to the library and things like that, because it was a few floors and it had plenty of books, and the Wisconsin library system was just really nice in general. And then moving to Minnesota, the one here isn't as nice, and it's kind of made me a library snob, I don't know. So I just want to go to a really nice library and just sit and read for a long time because I'm a super nerd. Okay, number 8 is going to be the Mark Twain Cave in Hannibal, Missouri. I unfortunately have never read like any books from Mark Twain. The cave itself is supposed to be what he was thinking of when he was writing Huck Finn, so well, A, I want to read that book in the first place, but B, being able to be somewhere that like inspired someone to write something would be really, really interesting, and caves are really cool, so why not? And then also in Hannibal, I believe, is like his house or something. I'm not really sure, but the cave itself looks really cool. And number 9 is Sleepy Hollow, New York. I have been watching Sleepy Hollow on TV recently, and it just kind of got me in like the Halloween spirit and the spooky stuff spirit, so I decided to put this one on my list. I have not read Sleepy Hollow. I've watched like the movie with Johnny Depp or whoever is in it a long time ago, but I really like the story, and I kind of looked into Sleepy Hollow, New York, and it looks like a really interesting town. You know, it's on the smaller side, but from what I hear, I think there's a cemetery and there's like a headstone for the Headless Horseman, which is really cool. And then I did some research, and like the bridge itself doesn't exist, or it doesn't exist anymore. But there's still like a lot of places you can go to, and it looks really cool, so I definitely want to go there. And the 10th place is Jackson Hole, Wyoming. That might seem a little random, but one of my absolute favorite book series right now has been the Unearthly series by Cynthia Hand, and it's kind of a story about angel bloods and, you know, paranormal stuff like that, but the main character, Clara, her purpose takes her to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and it just seems like a very scenic place, and I know the author herself. I've watched her YouTube videos and stuff. She spent a lot of time researching Jackson Hole and making basically everything as realistic as possible. And she'll reference one place in reference to where something else is, and it's actually that far away. She had a map with her, so everything could be, you know, just as if you were there. And it just sounds like a really pretty place, from like the mountains and the skiing and just the wide open land and just everything. I just kind of want to go there and experience all that stuff, and I want to go horseback riding and like fishing and all that stuff. It just sounds like a really fun place to do it all in, so I choose Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Now for my 3 places that I've already been that are bookish related. Number 1, we have the Edgar Allan Poe National Historical Site in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. While this isn't like his house or anything like that, it is the only I guess standing building in Philadelphia that he has stayed in. And I went on a haunted ghost tour with my boyfriend and his cousin when we were in Philadelphia last summer. Well, I guess technically 2 summers ago, 2012. But we had walked by and we had heard a little bit about the building and stuff like that, so I guess I haven't gone inside, but I take it as well enough. And it was really cool to be, you know, kind of in that area, and not even just Edgar Allan Poe. We learned about all these people in history and like kind of walked down these streets, and it was so interesting. So that was really cool. And then the other 2 places are related. It's the House of Seven Gables in Salem, Massachusetts, and the Nathaniel Hawthorne House in Salem, Massachusetts. I went with my childhood best friend and her family to Salem when I was like in middle school, and we had done, you know, the whole Salem stuff, but we'd also chose to go to these places, and sadly I have not read any books by Nathaniel Hawthorne. I think I owned 1 or 2 of them, and I have no clue what they are, but I definitely want to. But it was really cool to be, you know, once again in like a house like the Seven Gables, where it had been the reason why they'd written the book, or they reference it and stuff like that. It was just really cool, and I feel like if I went there now I'd probably appreciate it a little bit more, but it still sticks with me, and I remember very specific things about it now, so it was really cool. Well, those are all the places I have for you guys. I hope you really liked this video. It was a lot of fun for me to look up these places and think of places I wanted to go and do some research on them, so I challenge you all to do the same thing and figure out what bookish places that you want to go, because there are so many books that are based on real places or really cool libraries and things like that, and I'm always looking for new places to go. I want to travel a lot someday. I haven't done a whole lot of traveling lately, mostly just the same places, but I definitely want to someday, and I'm always looking for new places to go. So I will see you guys later. Bye!